A man named Kayden flies out of the sky and smashes into a wall with a lot of damage on his body. He sees a lazy cat and a bright flash happens. RMC Jiwoo Seo is at a pet shop excited that cat treats are on sale and buys them for some kitties. A kid is crossing the street and a car is speeding toward the kid, but Jiwoo saves the kid suddenly. Luckily they were not hit, avoiding an accident. The kid was shocked and the bystanders wondered where the kid disappeared because he should have been hit. Jiwoo disappears after saving the kid and the mother is glad the kid is fine. He goes home and gets some food for the cats, but the cats bring Jiwoo to an injured cat for Jiwoo to patch up. The cat wakes up after losing consciousness and wonders where he is and finds out he's in a cat's body. We get a flashback of Kayden using his powers to change into a cat. Jiwoo is excited that Kayden looks better and grabs him food. He checks if Kayden is a boy or a girl and Kayden speaks but is clueless about who is speaking. When he notices Kayden is speaking he backs off and freaks out. Kayden threatens Jiwoo that if he tells anybody he would kill him. After threatening Jiwoo he checks himself out and is in disbelief that his cat's body is fat. Kayden introduces himself to Jiwoo and Jiwoo brings Kayden to buy some more cat food because he ran out, but he brings Kayden to the pet hospital to get him checked out. Once they are done they run into a monster cat chasing after them. It starts attacking Jiwoo, but Jiwoo brings out a cat toy and starts playing with it, and so is Kayden. We get a glimpse of Kayden's past where he challenges and defeats anyone strong so anyone famous avoids him. Many people are trying to recruit him or join him, but he passed on all of them. Kayden snaps out of it, and the monster cat takes out the toy to continue its attack. So they continue running for their lives. Jiwoo wants to save the monster cat but doesn't have the power to, so Kayden gives Jiwoo some of his powers. The cat tries to slash Jiwoo but he ducks in time to avoid it. They are at a standstill while the monster cat attacks and Jiwoo avoids it. Jiwoo waits for the perfect opportunity to counterattack, but before knocking it out he apologizes to the cat and knocks it unconscious. Dr. Deline is wondering where its sample went because his tracker isn't working. Jiwoo brings the monster cat to his home to treat its wounds, but Kayden is suspicious because it seemed like the cat had an awakening. Jiwoo pleads with Kayden not to expose his speed to people and Kayden replies, "Why would I go telling people about my awakening abilities?" Jiwoo is clueless so he asks Kayden what awakened abilities are and Kayden tells him. Jiwoo cries happily that he isn't the only one with abilities because he had to hide them from everyone his whole life. A mysterious energy goes around Jiwoo's home, awakening the monster cat, and it quickly escapes from the home. Jiwoo goes after the monster cat because he is worried about the cat and the damage it could do, so Kayden tags along. Deline finds the monster cat but the cat freaks out because it remembers what he did to it and gets ready to attack Deline. Jiwoo and Kayden arrive but hide around the corner. The cat attacks Deline but he uses his abilities to restrain the cat to throw it at the wall and does it multiple times till it's knocked down. Jiwoo is in a dilemma on if he should save the cat due to Deline being powerful. The cat tries to escape but Deline doesn't let it go, so Jiwoo goes in to save it. Deline is annoyed that he lost the test sample and orders his student Wooin to pack up to ditch the building. Kayden heals the monster cat but the cat is completely exhausted from the attack and Jiwoo is relieved that it's okay. Kayden remembers that experiment happened before but they never achieved awakening until this awakened and think they are getting into something dangerous. Then Kayden scolds Jiwoo for saving the cat because the owner might go after Jiwoo. Jiwoo's alarm went off and he is surprised it's already 7 a.m. so he gets dressed to go to school. Before Jiwoo goes to school he hopes that Kayden can stay and rest to heal his wounds until he gets better. Jiwoo has a flashback of him asking his mom if he is a human because of his abilities and no one wants to be friends with him due to his abilities. So his mom assures him that he is human. Jiwoo is outside watching other kids play but a cat gave him so much love and that's why he loves cats so much. School is over so Jiwoo rushes home but along the way he bumps into Wooin, so he apologizes to Wooin and continues to go home. The monster cat wakes up scaring the other cats ready for an attack but Kayden knocks the cat out and the regular cats thank Kayden. Jiwoo comes home to explain to Kayden why he loves cats so much and goes and takes a nap because of the late nights. Deline experiments on other cats but they all die, so Deline is furious because people will ask about the results soon and ask Wooin to get more test subjects. Deline tells Wooin to go to other areas to look for test subjects if the current area is becoming suspicious. At night Kayden is practicing but gets annoyed because his powers are not returning after turning into a cat. He thinks it could be because he transferred some of his powers to Jiwoo but thinks Deline could be a danger in the future. Jiwoo wakes up from his nap because Kayden is on top of Jiwoo and Jiwoo having a nightmare. So Kayden teaches Jiwoo how to increase his abilities efficiently. When sending power to Jiwoo again, Kayden tells Jiwoo to remember this feeling. They keep practicing till a flashing light beams out of Jiwoo's body and Kayden is surprised that Jiwoo can move the energy around. We see Jiwoo training till morning and Kayden is very impressed because he can move the energy around and absorb it into his heart within just a few hours. Jiwoo doubts his abilities, but Kayden assures Jiwoo that he's doing good for a newbie. The alarm rings and Jiwoo rushes to school. Kayden wonders why Jiwoo understands it so fast but thinks it is probably due to Kayden's amazing technique and teachings. When Jiwoo's at school, he is very glad that Kayden came into his life and falls asleep in class again until a teacher wakes him up. The teacher asks about Wooin because he was absent today, but no one speaks up. Jiwoo finds a couple of boys bullying Wooin at school, emptying Wooin's backpack filled with cat food. So Jiwoo jumps in trying to save Wooin. A bully tries to hit Jiwoo but keeps on missing. A bunch of people walks across them, so Jisuk stops the fight and warns them before leaving. Jiwoo asks if Wooin is okay, but he ignores Jiwoo and walks home, so Jiwoo goes his separate ways. When Jiwoo reaches home, he looks for Kayden, nowhere to be found, so he gets annoyed. Kayden didn't say anything before leaving, but the one place Jiwoo did not check was the washroom where Kayden was taking a dump. Jiwoo apologizes to Kayden for freaking out for disappearing and asks if he was able to finish his business, but Kayden tells Jiwoo to shut up. He was about to beat Jiwoo but stopped because Jiwoo was glad when he was wrong. The monster cat wakes up and starts hissing at them, but remembers what Jiwoo and Kayden did before, so it just starts licking itself. Jiwoo picks it up and starts petting it until he wants to bring it to the vet. Kayden doesn't want to go, but Jiwoo bribes him with treats, so he relents and goes with them to the vet. Along the way to the vet, Wooin spots Jiwoo with two other cats and remembers the monster cat. When they reach the vet, the doctor checks the monster cat and everything seems fine with it. The doctor insults Kayden, recommending him to go on a diet, so Kayden debates on killing him. Jiwoo sees a lot of injured animals that need emergency care, but whoever is leaving them at the doorstep leaves some money for treatment still. Back at the lab, Deline asks Wooin where he was and he tells him that he was dealing with the animal bodies. Deline is annoyed because he's administering the test exactly the same way for the monster cat, but all the samples are failing. Wooin asks about the Awakener ability that took away the monster cat, and he tells Wooin that he has something to do with movement. Deline is disappointed because if he was prepared he would have never lost the monster cat, and if he ever sees Jiwoo again he's going to finish him off. The next day in class, Jiwoo greets Wooin, but he ignores Jiwoo and Wooin is suspicious of Jiwoo as a tracker. At home, Kayden doesn't know why he feels tired but noticed that the other cats are also down, so he thought it was an ambush, but it was just the time of day for cats to take naps. Kayden tries to resist it but fails, so he falls asleep. On the way home, Wooin followed Jiwoo and asked him where he got the cat. Jiwoo is just feeding the stray, but he meant the monster cat. Jiwoo tells him the details and Wooin tells him that it might be his cat, so Jiwoo brings the cat out to let him check. Wooin states he's the owner, but the cat ferociously hisses at Wooin, causing Jiwoo to doubt Wooin's claim. Wooin tells Jiwoo that he would be in danger if he keeps the cat, but Jiwoo still won't give it up. So Wooin knocks Jiwoo out and apprehends the cat. Suddenly Jiwoo gets back up asking why Wooin is doing such things. Wooin tells Jiwoo to just forget about the cat, and Jiwoo asks if Wooin is in cahoots with Deline. Wooin confirms that it was Jiwoo who took the cat away from Deline and surprise attacks Jiwoo before he could react. He goes in for another attack, but Jiwoo dodges it in time. Jiwoo closes in on Wooin trying to rescue the cat, but due to being point blank, Jiwoo gets hit, knocking him down. Jiwoo is determined to save the cat, so he gets back up and dashes for the cat. Wooin catches Jiwoo to question what group he belongs to, and Jiwoo is confused because he's not in a group. Wooin lets Jiwoo go when he finds out Jiwoo isn't chasing them and warns him one last time. Jiwoo is devastated because he feels like he's responsible for the cat being taken away from him. Wooin brings the cat back to Deline, and he is beyond excited to get the specimen back because he doesn't need to worry about the experiments anymore. Wooin tells Deline that the person got away, but he tells Wooin to get rid of him if you ever see him. Jiwoo was able to locate the building when tailing Wooin, but Deline surprises Jiwoo on the stairsteps. Kayden heads out to look for Jiwoo and is about to go home, but he just feels uneasy because they should be laying low. Deline remembers Jiwoo looks like the person that saved the cat and attacks Jiwoo. Jiwoo is knocked down, and Deline walks closer to him to insult him as a tracker. Jiwoo gets up and tries to use his speed to escape, but Deline is too powerful, so he knocks Jiwoo down again. Wooin tries to intervene, but Deline is too pissed off to let Wooin finish the job. He attacks Jiwoo's leg so he can't use his abilities anymore and continues attacking him. Wooin stops Deline, revealing Jiwoo isn't a tracker and is his classmate. Deline is pissed that Wooin lied to him, so he attacks Wooin to incapacitate him because he wants to deal with Jiwoo first. Right before Deline takes out Jiwoo, Wooin stops him because he doesn't want to let Jiwoo die. While Kayden was looking around, he noticed some noise. Deline scolds Wooin for stopping him and attacks Wooin. He dodged Deline's attack as much as possible till he counterattacked him and landed the attack, triggering Deline, causing Deline to get serious. Deline uses more power, smashing Wooin to a wall, and he continues his barrage. Kayden sees Deline kicking Wooin but didn't care because it wasn't Jiwoo. He spots Jiwoo laying on the floor and walks over to see if he's okay. Jiwoo apologizes to Kayden for worrying him, but Deline sees Kayden and calls him a fatso. Jiwoo tells Kayden to leave, but Kayden assures Jiwoo he will take care of it. A bright flash happens and Kayden turns back to human form, shocking everyone. Kayden puts up a separate dimension so he can fight freely. Deline finds out who Kayden is because only Kayden has the thunder ability and tries to back off from fighting him because he is too powerful. Kayden doesn't care, hitting him with lightning. Then Deline drops to his knees alive, so Kayden goes in for another strike, but Wooin walks in front to block the strike and begs Kayden to spare Deline. Kayden doesn't care and tells Wooin to get out of the way or die with Deline. Right before Kayden strikes, Jiwoo tells Kayden to stop because he doesn't want Kayden to kill for him and is grateful that Kayden will stand up for him. Kayden lets them go but thinks Jiwoo is a pushover and a nuisance. When they are home, Kayden uses his powers to help Jiwoo's leg heal fast because it's broken. Jiwoo is really surprised at how cool and powerful Kayden is, but Kayden feels something is wrong and turns back into a cat, shocking himself. Back at the lab, Wooin is about to give treatment to Deline, but he wants Wooin to get all the data and leave the place. Deline noticed some men heading his way, so he thinks Wooin betrayed him, causing him to attack Wooin. Right before Deline was about to finish Wooin off, the Awakeners Union stopped him to arrest him and also to take in Wooin.